Hey, Ultra Nitro RC nerds. This is part 17 of my video series to rebuild the Savage X 4.6. If you're new to this channel and or specifically this video series, really nothing more than giving you the opportunity to watch as some chump with the camera chronicles the events of taking a Savage X, a stock one, and turning it into what he wants it to be. And that is a vehicle that first and foremost is uber durable, performs well, jumps well, wheelies well, all of that good stuff. This will be its fourth tank, and the temperature outside right now is in the mid to high 30s. So at this point, what I'm going to begin doing is heat cycling. And I know everyone has their own break-in method. This is mine. It's funny, I counted, and this is actually number 20 for me. This is the 20th engine I've broken in, if you can believe that. So, and I've broken in many in cold temperatures. And at this point, I am going to get it up to 200, and so let's just see how it goes. Well, you can see I was able to get it up to 200 that time. So today it's freezing rain. Consequently, I'm not going to continue the break-in. Thought I would go ahead and do a little bit of maintenance items that I have on my checklist after the inspection. One of them is to rebuild the differentials. Now I'll clean up all the components. You can see here, hopefully you can see how nice and clean brake cleaner gets all of the aluminum parts. I mean, look at the housing right here. Just look how clean that is on the inside. And I haven't even scrubbed it out. All I did was soak it. Even the outdrives, all the gunk that's up inside of there, everything. It's, I think, the best product to use when cleaning out your differentials. I was also able to get rid of the play that was down here by just simply shimming it, putting an extra shim down below the cross pin. Get me in trouble. Mommy will have a fit. No, I'm not turning it into a shelf queen, but here's how I roll. When I put the Robinson Racing spur gear on, I added 1 ounce. That's a lot. In any vehicle where I'm watching its weight, you know, I tell myself I have to offset that weight somehow. Now, there's not a whole lot of opportunities in this vehicle where I can offset weight because all the other areas that are running aluminum, it's needed for durability, and durability will always win out. However, I started thinking through it, and you have to understand that this rebuild, as I've said, it's iterative, meaning that at any moment I have to analyze everything and decide what's best for the vehicle. So consequently, I started looking through everything and thought the RC chassis, they're thick, but they're heavy. And these right here are much lighter. They're stronger than stock and much lighter than the RC ones. And if you can believe, I paid all of $2 for these. I don't care how they look, because I don't care about the vehicle and how it looks on the bench. I only care about how it looks here. Now, I've never seen a Savage running these before. In fact, my understanding is that these TVPs are for the Savage 21 and the Savage 25. I don't know what those vehicles entail. I don't know. I know they fit perfectly here. I'm even still able to run the RC engine plate, because that I do need, because the stock sucks on that. And there's really not a lot of a lot of options there. So I think it's awesome that I can still run the IRC engine plate, which is the real piece of IRC material that I needed. Plus, you can see I'm also still running the roll bar on it as well, but I have bigger plans for that. But for now, these are my new TVPs. Call it like I see it. Okay, well, after 3 days, it finally stopped raining. The streets are drying out and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the break-in. Let's see how it starts up after not being started for 3 days. As I was running that last tank, we got mail, and I've got 2 items here. I imagine, let's see, the first one here is up. These are actually rods here for the link setup, so I want to redo the link setup, and these are the thick Dubro threaded rods right here that Shizzle McNizzle recommended. And then the second item are some things I desperately need for the Savage, not the toe blocks. The chassis braces, yeah, the ones I have are getting worn, so I could always use some of those, but more importantly, a complete hinge pin set for the Savage. So the upper, the lower, the outer for the uprights, as well as the E-clips, everything, the whole 9 yards. However, my focus now is to finish the break-in and then put a bass tune on it. Well, on that tank, the clutch started slipping, and here's kind of how you can tell. At this point, you can see I'm giving it full throttle, but it's getting excessive smoke, and the vehicle's moving very slowly. So I need to figure out if it's the slipper or the clutch. I have a feeling it's just the clutch itself. All right, well, I checked the slipper and it was fine, so let's see what we got going on here. I imagine the clutch nut just came a bit. So at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch back to nylon for now. All right, well, the clutch is still slipping with the new setup, and that's just because it's a very light setup, and I'm on a high bite surface, so it's to be expected. But I can tell you that in part 18, I'm gonna take care of that once and for all. Mark my words on that. So this will be tank number 8, and at this point I'm just gonna do one more tank, some high-speed runs. Needles are still at stock. Then I'll begin putting just a little bit of a bass tune on it. So I assure you the intermission that you just saw really wasn't an exercise in self-indulgence. The intent was pure. You know, we all know you should position your piston at bottom dead center while allowing it to cool during the break-ins. On flat chassis vehicles, it's easy. You just turn it over and stop it, put it where you want. But on vehicles with a TVP design like this, it can be difficult to get to the flywheel. So what I do is right before it's about to run out of fuel, I remove the tank, I'll stop the engine, and at that point I have full access to the flywheel. So that's just a little something for you guys if you're breaking in your engines on your Savage. That way you don't have to, fight to get to it and burn the hell out of your fingers like I first did. All right, so what's next? Well, I'm going to hold off on tuning it for now, as tomorrow the forecast says it's going to be below freezing all day. Excuse me, and well, I'm just not going to tune it in that weather. Instead, part 18 will simply be, implementing the items that I found during our inspection. So I'll replace all of the hinge pins. I'll redo the link setup, as well as put on some new parts that are long overdue. Some really, really cool parts for this vehicle that I'm excited about. Additionally, I want to give the transmission a post break-in inspection, if you will. Everything on it seems smooth. It hasn't shifted yet, which, I had the shift point set to stock, or so I thought. And I think I was getting the RPMs that were required to get it to shift, at least from when I want it to shift. So basically, I'm just going to go and make it shift. Then in part 19, I'll walk through how I tune this engine, as well as show the results of testing out 5 different pipes on this engine. And then part 20, well, just hang on. So that's all I got. I appreciate everyone watching. And remember, don't judge a book by its cover. Thanks so much. Have a great day.